This is a CRT workboat. You often see these on the canals. Half a dozen of them, I think, tied up. Here I am at Llangynidr. This is the water point in the town of Llangynidr, and this of course is the Monmouthshire Brecon Canal, the Mon and Brec. I'm going to take a walk now up to the locks. There's a lovely little robin singing away up in the tree there. So just on the approach to the bottom lock, the first of the flight. I was just looking at all these trees here. If any of these come over, and they do sometimes on the canals, completely block the canal. But CRT is usually quite quick to get blockages like that cleared out the way. There's an awful lot of wood there though, isn't there? And as is the custom on the Monmouthshire Brecon, the gates at the front have been left open, so a boat could simply drive straight in. If you were coming the other direction, you'd have to moor up the other side, close the front gates, and then fill the lock before you could enter from that direction. This is a CRT workboat. You often see these on the canals. They use them for carrying tools and materials, and when they're clearing obstacles, etc., as you see, it will hold quite a lot. Quite a lot of water coming out of the bywash there, which suggests to me that the canal is quite full further up. And we've got bridge 132 immediately in front of the lock. This is called Lower Lock. Yeah, so the canal looks quite full. You can see the water overflowing there, and that's what comes out at the front of the lock. Just look at the angle on that tree. It's really coming over, isn't it? In fact, a lot of these are leaning over the canal. It's covered in green moss on the one side. Fantastic. So around this, around the corner, we'll come to the second lock. And then after that, there's a flight of 3 locks, one behind the other. So here's the second lock. We'll take a look at this one. This one has its own little bridge across the front, which is handy. Well, it looks fairly deep, doesn't it? Look at all the green, weedy, mossy stuff growing on the walls. Just goes to show it hasn't had much use during the winter months. So one of the many hire boat companies on the canal are based here. Country Craft Narrowboats. Some of their boats. Half a dozen of them, I think, tied up. Oh, very nice. And then we've got a very low bridge after this. I seem to recall I almost banged my head on it once. Quite wisely it says cyclist dismount. Yeah, otherwise you're going to get a very sore head. I have to bend down a bit even to walk under this one. So I can remember walking past this stretch last year. Can't exactly remember the date. More or less a year ago, when the canal had been drained quite a lot. And it didn't look anything like this. Okay, so the first three locks were just up there around the corner, and then you come to the fourth lock in the series. Again, you can see how low the water is. And the fourth lock is just here, just after bridge 134. A couple more mallards down here. That's the duck you most often see on canals. They're lovely looking, aren't they? A couple more coming down to visit them. Mr. and Mrs. Duck are coming to say hello to Mr. and Mrs. Duck. A lot of bird song today, it's really nice. It's very calming, I always think, just looking at the canal when it's placid like this. Bit different to the Gloucester and Sharpness Canal, where I was, I suppose a couple of weeks ago now. So this area here, this is a landing stage for canoes, people in canoes, kayaks, etc. I never really know what the difference is. That's where they can get in and out. So definitely not somewhere to moor up a narrowboat. So here we are at the bottom of the flight of 3 locks that completes the Llangynidr locks. This is the bottommost of the 3. I was just chatting to somebody walking their dog, and they said they thought there was a woodpecker up in the trees here. So you never know, with a bit of luck might catch a glimpse. I'll have to keep my eyes peeled. So from this lock you can see the other 2 all in quick succession to each other. Once again you can see the overflow bypassing the empty lock. So canal's pretty full. Not surprising after all the rain we've had. Here's another example of trees coming over at an angle. Just look at that. It's amazing how they ever stay up, isn't it? All the weight in that tree, pulling it over this way, and the second tree. It's no wonder that from time to time they do come down. This one is called Little Lock. Again, one of these very handy bridges. Much safer walking across these than walking across the rear gate. And as you can see, the locks were constructed in 1799. That's 225 years ago. Just amazing. Look how many people were needed in the construction. So I don't know if this will be visible, but what it says on the text here is that the 5 locks here at Llangynidr, they raise the canal 48 feet, and each of them contains 40,000 gallons of water. I'm just being visited by Mr. Mallard here. What a lovely tranquil place. I can barely hear traffic on the road, which I think is about a few hundred yards over there, and then about half a mile there's another one. I can hardly hear it. All I can hear at the moment is birds singing and the falling of the water around the lock. Very calm and very relaxing. And here we are at the top lock. And very originally this one is called Top Lock. This one also has got these mechanisms on the paddles, so I imagine that would make it very difficult to operate. So CRT has probably fitted these. If anybody is able to explain what they're there for, perhaps they could leave a comment. It does look like they are temporary fittings, but to my mind I think that would definitely stop the ratchet from operating properly. I can see there's a yellow cover over the one ground panel on this side, so presumably it means that one's not working anyway. Due for repair, I suppose. Look at this magnificent duck. I don't think I've seen one of these ducks here on the canal before. That is so beautiful. Brought my old Nikon D200 with me to take some stills. It's about 17 years old, that camera, and I haven't used it for a couple of years at least. Charged the battery up before I left, and just now it's died on me, so obviously the battery is no good anymore. But I've managed to get a few pictures, and hopefully you'll enjoy seeing them. Yeah, it's a nice camera. I should use it more often, but by the looks of it I might have to invest in a new battery. So I hope you've enjoyed this little walk along the Monmouthshire and Brecon, the Mon and Brec. I had been in two minds about bringing the Brompton, but the forecast did suggest some drizzle, and also after my ride along the Gloucester and Sharpness Canal a couple of weeks ago, the Brompton got very, very muddy, and it took ages for me to clean the gearing and the chain, so I spent quite a long time re-lubricating that and giving it a nice polish as well. And I was just a little bit reluctant to bring it out today on a towpath and possibly get it all messed up again, so I chickened out and I left it at home. But it's only a short distance I was doing today anyway, so walking is fine. You'll see the Brompton again soon, don't worry about that. So I hope you've enjoyed this walk. Give it a like if you did. Leave a comment. Please leave comments. I love getting comments. Thanks to all the people who regularly do say things about the videos. And if you've not subscribed already, then please think of doing that. As always, a real big thank you to everyone who has subscribed. I really do appreciate that. So I'll catch up with you very soon, hopefully from another canal, and maybe with a Brompton as well. So in the meantime, take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.